Hey, Devon. So once again, I just want to welcome you to Satellite Fitness. I am so excited for you to be a part of this, and I can't wait for you to get started on your journey. So this video is going to help you feel comfortable, feel confident with your training for tomorrow. And then once you get a couple of sessions under your belt, you're going to be more time efficient. You're not going to have to look at the app as much because you're going to know what you need to do and so on. Of course, by the end of this, if there are questions that you still need answers or anything clarified, please do not be shy. I am here to help you through anything. So either text me or whatever is the best way for you to communicate. And speaking of that, if you like say everything makes sense, but then something comes up in the middle of your training, the best way to get in touch with me quickly is through text. For me, that just happens to be the way that I can respond to a person, to you, the fastest. So of course, you have the True Coach app. You have an account there now. Your training will be delivered to you, and you'll be able to see your training about a week ahead of time. Right now, I only want you to focus on tomorrow's training. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. So when you open up the app, it'll say, today's workout or whatever. You click on that. If you're going to look through it, obviously today, which I want you to, it'll be in the upcoming workout tab, and then you'll click on it. And so you see that the title of the workout is upper body focus, which based upon your goals when it comes to getting stronger, sorry, I'm just typing that back in, upper body focus. I'm going to want to kind of probably have an upper body emphasize training session multiple times per week. Number of reasons for that, but we won't get into it right now. So the first thing you're going to have is your warm-up, of course. So just understand that for every single exercise that I give you, there's going to be a video demonstration associated with that. So except for something really self-explanatory, for example, the jumping jack. I know you know how to do a jumping jack, but you're going to look at your warm-up. And if there's anything you don't know how to do, which will be most of the things, you're going to watch the video and then repeat. Okay. So your first task is basically you're going to do 2 sets of the following: 30 seconds of jumping jacks just to get the heart rate up and everything else around that, 5 planks to downward dog, and you'll see the video, 10 supine shoulder flexion, 10 no money drills, and 20 bear hugs. And you're going to go back and repeat that. Okay, so that will be the warm-up. Make sure you do it. Make sure you do it for all the reps that I'm prescribing. And warm-ups will change depending on the target areas of our training, and then they'll change also as you enter different phases. So that'll be varied over time. Okay, you have next, when you begin your training, it says A1. And so that is the beginning of what I call a superset. So it's connected to another exercise, which is listed as A2. So there's A1 and A2 for the superset of A. Now, there can be 20 exercises in one superset, A1 all the way through to A20. But this particular superset is just A1 and A2. A superset means that you're going to alternate back and forth between these 2 exercises. So you'll be doing a set of A1, and then instead of just continuing to do sets in a row of A1, you're going to go to A2. So do a set of A1, do a set of A2, and then I go back to A1 and then to A2. Okay, we call it a superset. Your first exercise in the superset is a negative pull-up. Again, you'll look at the video, you'll see exactly how to do it. I'm asking you to do between 2 and 3 of them with a 10-second descent. You'll notice that I often give you a rep range, which means if you do some lifting and I say between 10 and 12 reps, and you get to 10 and you don't think you'll be able to lift for 11, then of course, the rep range for you, you're going to use 10. Okay, so the ideal in terms of how much weight you should lift is as long as you can lift within the range with it still being challenging, then it's good. But if you get to rep 10 out of the rep range of 10 to 12, and you can definitely bump out 2 more reps to get 12, then you should use that rep range. Also, if you're using the top end of the range, for example, if you do a set of whatever at 12 repetitions, this probably means you can increase load a little bit. So if you look at the rep range, you say, hey, I just did 12 of those, but he said I could do 10 through 12. The rep range isn't to just opt for the easier thing. It's to, okay, let me bump up the weight here and maybe I'll get 11 reps or 10 reps. So in the beginning stages, you're going to have a longer, or rather a wider rep range, depending on what it is. For the negative pull-up, that's not the case. But as far as the negative pull-ups are concerned, I want you to do 3 reps if you can do the 10-second lowering, 3 times in a row without just, collapsing down to the bottom. So every time you do a negative pull-up rep, you can rest a little bit, shake your arms out, 15, 20 seconds, then you go back and do, the subsequent pull-up rep. So you're going to do 3 negative pull-ups. The goal is for a 10-second lowering phase. Based on the pull-ups you showed me, you were able to pull a little bit. I do believe you're going to have good ability to control on the way down. And if not, it'll develop quickly, I believe, for you. So I'm also going to put like an 8 to 10 second descent on those. Now, if you find that you can't hold it, a smooth and an equally spread amount of time for that 10 seconds, meaning I'm not going to hold here for 5 seconds and then drop in 5. I want to have a 1, 2, 3 smooth control over the course of that entire range of motion for the 10 seconds. If you can't do 10, lower it down to an amount that is doable. Just make sure that you let me know. Like if each rep ends up being a 5-second descent, perfectly fine. You'll just mark that down in the results section. So anyway, A1, negative pull-ups, 2 to 3 reps with an 8 to 10 second descent. Rest 30 seconds. Rest 30 seconds for what? Well, you're going to rest 30 seconds before you go to A2. This is just get you, a little bit recovered before this next pulling movement. A2, chest supported rows. Now there is the funky sequence of numbers here. It says at 3010. What the heck does that mean? Well, hopefully you've read your welcome sheet, and you read the section of it that expresses exercise language. So at 3010 is just simply the tempo. The first number always indicates how long it should take for a weight to be lowered or for a muscle to basically extend. Like I said, 3 seconds. So in this chest supported row, let's just imagine I'm doing that exercise. I pull, but that's not lowering the exercise, that's lifting the weight. So 3 seconds, 3 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi. That's always the lowering phase of the exercise. Even though a row starts by lifting the weight, you're still going to look at that first number and think, okay, so that's how long it should take for me to lower the exercise. So 3010, the first number showing how long it should take to lower the weight. The second number is a pause or not. So in this case, 0. So 3, 2, 1, 0 second pause. So I'm going to pull them right up. So 3 seconds down, 0 seconds pause at the bottom. And then the third number always indicates the lifting phase of the exercise. So that's 1 second. And then the fourth number is always if there's a pause or not at the top. So in this case, you have 3010. So 1 second to pull them up, 0 seconds pause at the top, 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, 0 second pause at the bottom. Is this a little confusing? Definitely. But you'll get it after you practice. And the more you practice, the less you'll have to focus on like actually counting. Like you'll do a set at the tempo and then you'll know how to just kind of do that. And then you'll just be, you'll just be counting your repetitions at that point. So chest supported row at 3010 by 12. That's 12 reps at that tempo. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, and so on for 12 reps. Then it says rest 90 seconds. Rest 90 seconds before what? Before you go back to A1 to do another set of the negative pull-ups. It says rest 90 seconds by 4. By 4 of what? By 4 there for that specific exercise indicates how many times you're going to go back and forth between A1 and A2. So A2, chest supported row at 3010. By 12, rest 90 seconds by 4. Again, I want to really make this point clear. The by 4 means 4 sets of the negative pull-up into the chest supported row, back to the negative pull-up, chest supported row, negative pull-up, chest supported row, and then fourth and final set, negative pull-up, chest supported row. So the amount of sets that you're doing is always indicated in the last exercise in the sequence, okay? So if there was A1 through A20 and you want to know how many sets of that you're supposed to do, you'll look at A20 and then it'll say by 3, okay? So that just encompasses everything that came before it as well. All right, so to the bench push-up, your push-up looked really good. I'm so excited because you already have push-ups and they look fantastic. We're gonna be able to bang out multiple reps of those perfect push-ups real soon. But these are bench support push-ups. I wanna get you a little bit more volume without any form breaking down. Anyway, it's at 2011 for the bench push-up, which we know that the third number in the sequence of tempo means the pressing portion. So I'm gonna push up in 1, with a 1 second pause at the top, 2 second lower, and then 0 second pause at the bottom, so I press right back up at 2011. Remember, the first number is always how long it should take for me to lower myself or the weight. Second number is if there's a pause in that position at the bottom. The third number is when I would actually push up or lift the weight or lift my body, which in this case is 1. And then the fourth number is there a pause at the top? For in this case, there is 1 second. So 1 second push, 1 second pause at the top, 2 second lower, 0 second pause at the bottom, right? When in doubt, just always go slower on the way down and faster on the way up. That is principally typical of the tempo, but we really want to be careful with it to make sure that you get the right amount of tempo. I don't want you to bang out the bench push-ups like this, because when you're going really fast, it doesn't give the muscle what it needs in order to contract. Also, it doesn't give the muscle the time it needs to be able to be held in contraction, or what we call time under tension. Very important in this stage. So B1, bench push-ups at 2011 by 10. Rest 30 seconds before you go to B2. I'm asking you to film one set. Film one set. Okay. B2 is a dumbbell bench press at 3010 by 10 reps. So 3010. Okay, if the third number in that sequence tells me how fast I need to push the weight up, it's going to go from here. 1, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3. So at 3010, remember, slower on the down, faster on the up by 10. Rest 90 seconds by 3. So like I said for A1 and A2, that last number there by 3 at the end of B2 means I'm going to do 3 sets of alternating back and forth between the bench push-up and the dumbbell bench press. So we're wailing on your upper body a little bit here today, right? Then we have C. C is kind of a standalone, and I write it in here a little bit differently simply because it's more of a circuit without taking a lot of rest. Regardless, C, it says between 4 and 5 sets. So if you finish the 4th set, you feel pretty good, hey, do a 5th set. If you're crunched for time, or if you're really getting fatigued and your form is breaking down, keep it to 4 sets, and that's fine too. You're going to do 30 seconds of a forearm star plank per side. You'll see the video. 12 ball slams. A note on the ball slam: make sure it's the type of ball that if you slam it down, it does not bounce up. You don't want to have a problem there, but just make sure that that's not the case, okay? We want to make sure it's a dead ball. Okay, 12 ball slam, 12 knee push-ups, and then 30 seconds of single unders, which is just jump rope, at a moderate pace. I know that you said the single unders were difficult. Well, good. This will be sort of basically this is what we call mixed modal cardio, basically, okay? So there's strength involved, but it's also fun to be going around in a little bit of a circuit, right? So between 4 and 5 sets of that. The 30 seconds of the single unders, you want to make it kind of a moderate pace so that you're not destroyed by the time you go back to do your forearm star plank. Okay, so essentially, and I'm going to have you film a set of that as well. So I'm asking you to film basically everything, just so that I can, of course, keep an eye on your form and give you feedback, which, by the way, I will get you some feedback based upon what you showed me within the, the assessment. But for right now, because we're going on 15 minutes, I'm going to keep it short for right now, and then a later video will come with the feedback there when I give you feedback for what you filmed for me tomorrow. Okay, so that's it. I want you to hit me with any questions that you have at all. I am here for you. Okay, so excited. Awesome stuff. Bye, Devon.